A world powered by the blockchain is being formed right in front of our eyes. Experts are calling it the Internet 3.0, the next digital revolution. It's leaving many investors and even institutions looking for a path to take an early position in this massive opportunity. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Dash, it's all speculation at this point. But what is certain is that the most profitable businesses for cryptocurrency and the blockchain is in the actual creation of these coins. This is why some of the top early adopters of Bitcoin, blockchain miners, fund managers, and even billionaires have come together to create a new vehicle to invest in the blockchain core itself. Get immediate access to this new company by going to crushthestreet.com/Bitcoin.
Hello everyone and welcome into crushthestreet.com. I'm Kenneth Amaduri and I'm speaking to a fellow cryptocurrency enthusiast all the way around the world, Levi Illis of Cryptocurrency Edutainment. Levi's been on the show before. Levi, thanks for coming on Crush the Street with me.
Hey, Kenneth. Yes, thank you very much for inviting me again. I'm excited to be your show again. Thank you.
Of course. Well, you know what? I really want to just kind of give everyone an update on what we're doing and what we're seeing in the cryptocurrency market right now. A lot of stuff going on, and Coinbase just adds Bitcoin Cash, and I just want to kind of get your thoughts starting here in terms of Bitcoin and versus Bitcoin Cash, and what are your thoughts on Bitcoin Cash?
Yeah, they are trying to do a serious attempt to take Bitcoin down, huh? But yeah, in the end, I don't think they will prevail. It's exciting. I mean, I don't know how it was in the States, but here at least the news was also a little bit how do you say it, bended in terms of what was going on with Bitcoin. They were saying like the inventor of Bitcoin has how do you say it, sold all of his Bitcoins.
Sure.
You know, and yeah, it's a pity that's been reflected like that. But you know, the thing is with Bitcoin, Segwit is activated right now, and the major companies are not using Segwit yet. And that is causing, of course, that we are getting with high mempools that are full, a lot of unconfirmed transactions, higher than ever before. And of course, if you are new to the cryptocurrency space and you come in Bitcoin as what everybody is talking about, and you have this bad user experience, then of course there is an opportunity for other coins like Bitcoin Cash in this example to do, let's say, an anti-campaign around that. And I think that is what you are seeing right now, and they are taking their chances and give it a try. But in the end, you know, I'm a Bitcoin believer. Huh?
Absolutely, yeah, no, and it's an interesting debate that people are having, and I think it's fair when you do see these higher fees and your transactions taking a long time. Fundamentally, that is hard for real-world transactions on a day-to-day basis to take place. And, you know, from just that alone, it does make sense that there are other alternatives out there. And I guess, you know, so what is your opinion? Do you think Bitcoin Cash has a chance of really continuing to creep up on Bitcoin dominance? And, you know, what is your long-term expectation on that?
I think if there is a coin that can take or can give a try to take Bitcoin down, then Bitcoin Cash is one of the better alternatives at this point of time. Whenever it comes to, let's say, a cash system, whenever it comes to a store of value, however, I still think that Bitcoin is king in that sense. And in the long run, you know, people want to have a store of value or hedge somewhere. They were doing it, or we are still doing it in gold, for instance. And I think that is the most important characteristic. Sorry for my bad English. Of Bitcoin. And I would say if Bitcoin would fail in that sense, then all the rest is doomed to fail. I really think Bitcoin will have that as a differentiator versus the rest.
Sure. Yeah, I tend to agree with you to a large degree on that. Levi, the cryptocurrency space is going through a big reorganization of capital. Bitcoin spiked not too long ago to 67% of the market cap dominance. And as of right now, I mean, I'm looking at it at 43.5%. Big news over just the last couple of days was that Charlie Lee sold all of his Litecoins. And he did take the high road with his comments saying that he was doing it because he doesn't want to affect the market. But some people have speculated that he might have been part of the Bitcoin Cash pump, especially with the timing of when Coinbase added Bitcoin Cash to their platform. So any thoughts on Litecoin and Charlie Lee at the moment?
It's a good question, Kenneth. It's all speculation, of course. It's all speculation. But I mean, if you sell off all the coins that you have given dirt to, let's say, that brings up a lot of questions for me. And I know
it really does. You got to think about that a little bit. But at the same time, he's up. Any rational person up thousands and thousands and thousands of %, it's okay to sell too, right? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. I mean, maybe you just need to accumulate a little bit more Bitcoin, and you never know, huh?
Right.
No, Kenneth. I don't understand the move, to be honest. I really don't understand the move, why he's doing this, but he has his rationales for it. He's always trying to be sincere on social media. He's very active on that, and maybe he's I don't know. I wouldn't understand. I wouldn't have done the same thing when I was in his position, knowing what my added value is of my coin whenever I was owning a coin. So,
Yeah, good point. Well, no, that's very fair. And I think a lot of us are scratching our heads wondering exactly what were the true motives. Of course, his public statements, he took the high road on this, but at the same time, fundamentally selling a lot of times means that you're not necessarily too bullish on the future, or else you would probably hold or hodl, like everyone's been talking about. So
that's what I wanted to. That's actually what I didn't want to say, but also thought of.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right. Well, here also some bullish news for Litecoin potentially. And I've just seen it as rumors. I don't know if this is true or not, but Facebook might be using Litecoin in their payment processor for users. And that'll be pretty big news if Facebook endorses Litecoin in the sense of adopting it for their payment processor. I mean, this is, the fundamental day-to-day transactions of cryptocurrency, not Bitcoin, unfortunately, but Litecoin. That would be pretty big news for Litecoin. I mean, everyone's on Facebook.
No, I cannot disagree on that. I'm totally agree on that with you, Kenneth. But then we will really see whether Litecoin is ready to handle heavy volume. And then we can take conclusions after it's in place, So that's how I see it. I see it. Bitcoin is among the ones that is having the very high transaction rates as volume, as well as Ethereum. And if Litecoin is gonna get to those levels, then let's see if they can live up to what they promised.
Levi, let's talk about Bitcoin and just its move down. I'm looking at it in the $15,000 range. By the time it's out, this interview's out, it might be 16, it might be back to 20,000, or it could be down to 13. Who knows? But the reality is Bitcoin is slowing down. As we already mentioned, its dominance is down to 43.5%. But not necessarily the other coins. I mean, we're still looking at a market cap that's right at 600 billion. What do you suspect would happen if we do see Bitcoin pull back? Do you suspect everything else to pull back with it? Or is this an opportunity for other currencies, other cryptocurrencies, to rise in their dominance?
Yeah, I think it's an opportunity for other coins to rise in their dominance at this point of time. But also on the other hand, I mean, I think it's also time for a good correction, because we have been spoiled a little bit the last months. It has been totally crazy, to be honest. I would have expected already a major correction up to 40 to 60% market wide, and that didn't happen. So and that, I think, also has to do with a lot of new capital inflow that's coming in. So remember last time, Kenneth, when I've asked you, out of the 150 people that you knew from your wedding, only, what was it, one to two or three max, right? Were in Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies?
I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, no, but tell me, how much is it now?
Well, I could tell you that I was talking to a housekeeper a few days ago, and she was asking me if she should sell her Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So as far as everybody, man, I could tell you there's that number has shot up quite a bit. I mean, if it was 2 or 3, there's probably 10 or 15 now. Yeah.
Exactly, but still a 10 to 15 is still in the 10% range, and I don't know. Maybe you should also put this figure up to make it a little bit more tangible for your viewers whenever the video is ready. But I do want to reflect back to the innovation adoption curve, because that means that we are now shifting from the innovators to the early adopter stage. And if you recall that graph, do you know how that graph looks like?
A parabolic chart, right?
Exactly. It's like a parabolic chart. And if we look at how it was in the innovator stage up until, let's say, a couple of months ago, because I also have the feeling we're moving now, also looking at it in my environment, I really use this to see where we stand. And also I come around, let's say, the 10% range. And then we are now moving from that phase parabolically. So in my opinion, I think if we have thought that 2017 or the period that we are in right now in 2017 is spectacular, I really think we are going to see things that we would not have expected in 2018, as well for Bitcoin and as well for altcoins. You can say what you want, but Bitcoin has an amazing run up, and it needs to rest. It's natural that it needs to rest right now. And the altcoins have been in a downward trend for a long while, and also they are now ready to get a boost.
Well, what do you think about something like Ethereum? Ethereum has moved up quite a bit. I mean, obviously Dash is hitting crazy highs at the moment. These are also cryptocurrencies, top cryptocurrencies that have performed very, very well over the last little while. Are you still pretty optimistic about these ones, or you think they need to pull back as well? Everything needs to pull back a little bit, but now also it's all how the market reacts, and if all the thought is still being spread about Bitcoin and the big backlog and all that kind of stuff, and there is room for others to shine. We have also seen that earlier this year, when we had the run up, that the Bitcoin dominance was slowing down and the altcoins were taking their opportunity to rise. The same thing is happening right now. So I think it's altcoin time also now. And you see it there, like the weirdest coins are going to the sky right now. Dogecoin and whatnot. So everything is going up. But still, there hasn't been any major pullback like 40 to 60%, which we have seen earlier this year as well. And that
that I do still expect, but if I how you say it, connected back to the story I was mentioning about the movement from the innovator stage to the early adopter stage, then maybe this is the reason that why it's not pulling back as much as expected, because there is so much new money coming in. You know, we are approximately around 70 million users whenever it comes to the crypto space, but we hear stories about Coinbase adding 500k users per day, and we see that news coming out that the Bittrex cannot handle more than 500,000 users, and they are upgrading the system. But if we look back at Coinbase, or if we extrapolate that on a yearly base, that means that 54 million users will be added to Coinbase. So that's also a huge user volume increase. And then we are only talking about Coinbase. What about all the other larger exchanges in terms of growth rate? So, you know, it's very difficult at this point of time to do any or to draw any conclusions or on where we're heading to, in my opinion.
Sure. Yeah, Levi, it's interesting because each time Bitcoin goes higher, it represents a new level of credibility and viability in the market that we're in. And that's new money that essentially isn't so much speculating in it. I mean, it is to a large degree, but there's a lot of money as it goes into these higher levels of viability that are parking money into Bitcoin, which I think to a large degree creates a base of support as opposed to just speculating, waiting to dump it. But, you know, as it goes higher and higher, people are like, hey, this is the real deal. And institutional money comes in and parks money into Bitcoin, which creates a floor to a large degree that, you know, I think we're having a hard time wrapping our minds around, because we're just looking at that chart going up, but we're not considering what's going on behind it to a large degree that's solidifying its price. Now, I think it's very fair to see a big correction, but at the same time, we're not just watching a stock run up and then come back down. This is, you know, fundamentally money entering the space that wants to get parked there for the long haul. So any final thoughts on that?
You know, and I totally agree with you, Kenneth. I mean, also last time I did let's say try to make things a little bit more tangible about all the money that is in circulation, all the money that's in the stock market, all the money that's in the gold market. You know, also these people are seeing that they are missing out on something that is outperforming their markets now for quite some time. And again, now if just, and last time I was saying 0.1%, but the likelihood now is that a larger chunk of percentages is coming from those markets into this market. And then, you know, I'm just saying, if only 1% will go into this market, then we will come to a market cap of 1.5 trillion. And I don't think that is something that is unlikely to happen on the short term. I really think that will happen. And let's see how that will evolve.
All right, Levi. Well, anything else that you would like to leave the audience with before we say goodbye here? Let them know about your YouTube channel, of course, and what they can learn, and if they want to reach out to you in any way, how they can do that.
Yeah, so I've been off a little bit for 3 weeks. I'm not going to tell the full story. For that, I would recommend to go to my YouTube channel. I've uploaded a video on the 16th of December. But actually, I always had a dream. And the dream was to be financially independent on my 35th birthday, or let's say year. And I managed to reach that goal.
Boom!
So, boom!
Love it. I love it. Yeah. I'm so happy for you, man. Good for you.
Thank you. So I'm fully focusing on crypto right now, just enjoying life. And I just say, you know, everything is possible whenever you put your mind into it. With regards to 2018. I'm gonna say that I expect that we are going to see more craziest thing than in 2017. I personally think that Bitcoin by the end of the year, and maybe people will think I'm crazy, but I really think that Bitcoin will be worth over $100,000. It will be approximately 141,176 to be exact. But I'm just saying. I mean, there's a lot of money or wealth transfer going on right now, and all those markets that are not yet in, they are getting in right now, and we are moving in that parabolic part of the innovation adoption curve. And the early adopter phase is the phase where it will rise the sharpest, let's say, upwards. So no, I am very bullish on that, and I know that people that are giving price targets most of the time are very conservative, because they do not want to make a bad reputation. But since I've always been a little bit conservative with my prediction, and of course I'm just speculating, I think that this time I'm not going to be conservative, and whenever I'm not wrong, then it's not the end of the world. We just continue as it is. Also, as a last thing, Kenneth, a lot of people are focusing, of course, on Bitcoin and whatnot. But I'm currently focusing a lot also on privacy coins. I already did, but I think privacy will also play a much bigger and bigger role. As you see, there is also a lot of regulatory pressure. So I see also a lot of upside there. And the other thing that I think is going to be interesting to invest in are technologies or protocols that are focusing on connecting blockchains to each other, because I think we are ready or getting ready to that next stage, and that's that we can interconnect everything to each other. So that are the two categories that I now am also investing in as a final thought.
Well, Levi, I'd call you crazy for that $150,000 or $175,000 price target, but that's what people said about Bitcoin going to $3,000.
Exactly, that's what I said. But it's not 175; it's 141. 176.
Oh, okay. I estimate. I was round. All right, Levi. Well, hey, it was a pleasure having you on Crush the Street today, and I look forward to talking to you again. We'll see how this all develops. It is speculation. Hopefully, people have been able to ride this wave up, because getting in now is a bit scary, because you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, you could have bought Bitcoin 19,000 and be down a good 20% from there, and kind of feel the pain of that a little bit. And you're going to have to the foresight and the fortitude and the prudence to stick with it long term. But of course, the risk off investment was buying it, in the triple digits or, low 1,000s. And, here we are today. I still believe it's early stage, but, it's not as risk off as it once was. But anyways, those are just my final thoughts for the call. Levi, thanks for coming on Crush the Street with me.
Thank you, Kenneth. I wish you good holidays, and hope to speak to each other next year again.
Absolutely. We sure will.